What's going on, guys? Already another Saturday night in your prime spent on YouTube. Yeah, I took that from Face. And every time he said that, I just died laughing. It's probably the most hilarious thing every time that I watch his live streams. Nowadays, I watch. I've watched his live streams on his channel and other channels that repost him. I've probably watched them all like 5 to 10 times at this point. So, and he's not making any new content. I heard from a guy that knows him that he might be kind of prepping things to, you know, uh, take it to the edge. But yeah, I'm not gonna say that's verifiable, but we'll see. But yeah, the really bad part is, he might be going away for good. But also the other bad part is he isn't seeming to make any more new content. And some of my other favorite content creators here on YouTube also seem to have stopped. And so there's still a few that make some, but my favorite ones kind of seem to have stopped. So lately it's just been another Saturday night of my prime doing nothing. I can't even cope on YouTube Live, Face, Zoomer Trader, etc. So yeah, I decided to kind of just make my own videos because if there's not enough good content out there, I guess I can maybe fill that gap to some extent. It's kind of a big shoe to fit, don't get me wrong, but just a way for us to all cope. And it helps me cope, especially. I know that this has been tremendous for my coping. But today, we're going to be coping together. I'm going to be reading through some of your comments. I created my channel a few months back and posted a few videos so far. I'm trying to zoom out, zoom in, make this a little bigger text. There we go. Make it bigger. That's good. So now we just have like one comment per page. But yeah, so I honestly don't really have enough time to respond to all of these comments, just like throughout the day and stuff like that for the most part. So I figured that it might just be good content to respond to them all for the most part in a video. So that's what I'm going to do here, and we'll see. I mean, I remember that there was some pretty insightful stuff. There was some pretty relatable stuff. There was some pretty funny stuff for the most part. So I'm actually pretty excited to get into this and give my commentary on this. And hopefully, it'll make y'all feel more heard as well in the comment section because I don't really respond that much. And yeah, maybe I can continue doing this. We shall see. But yeah, with that being said, I'm just going to get right into it and start reading these comments. So, okay, so the Bible doesn't say, so let me think. I guess I need to, for audio listeners only, if you're not reading, then I'm going to have to differentiate the comment from my commentary. So let me think about this. So comment says, the Bible doesn't say that suicide is wrong. The Bible is cope anyway. Oh man. And this is on the the Easter video. And then someone responded to him. He said, facts. We are in hell already. If we don't have to die, if we have to die anyway, there's no reason to fear it because it won't help you. Some questions I'm going to avoid, or some comments I'm going to avoid. I'm just going to avoid the religion stuff for now. I actually have been thinking about making a video on religion in my experiences. So I'll probably roll that out sometime later on. But for now, I'm just going to kind of let that be. And I'm probably going to skip some personal stuff too. But, okay, so commenter John says, commenter J, I'll probably just read the letter. Commenter J says, so J says, I've been put in a mental hospital, but not because of therapy. I've tried antipsychotic meds after coming out of it, but not because anyone forced me to. I took them for about a month and was able to taper off of them. I wouldn't recommend them because some meds can help some people. Some people can try meds for whatever amount of time and then quit. Quote unquote, everyone who does it more than once is stuck on it for life type of logic is BS. Therapy is mostly trash, but can help some people. So this guy was giving his 2 cents on the therapy video. And so, yeah, he's been in a mental hospital. And it sounds like he agrees. The last part says therapy is mostly trash, and that's kind of my opinion on it. It seems like there's maybe some nuance to some of the drugs, I suppose. Maybe it can help some people. I'm just personally against that for the most part. D says, I mean, it's all beta boxing once you reach a certain age. Chads who aged well can keep smashing, but that must be less than 1% of guys. Yeah, I agree. I think that probably pretty much every single relationship on the planet, once the couple starts getting old, I think that sex just dries up, period. No matter who you are, when you get to your 50s, when you get to your 60s, when you get to your 70s, and then some, there's just no way that that married couple is like really like having sex like, you know, when y'all were in your 20s anymore, right? It's just not really how the world works, not how human biology works. So I think that at the end of the day, every marriage eventually becomes a dead bedroom. And I got this wisdom from someone that was like 70 or 80. And, you know, basically he said in a joking way, well, dead bedroom, isn't that every marriage? And so that's some real wisdom, you know, when you think about it, like, even if they are having sex, like, you know, having sex with like a 60-year-old woman, like, you know, you definitely can't really, you know, you gotta like, I don't know, you gotta like do it from behind or something, so you just don't see like all the wrinkles or something. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, not to get graphic, but like that in and of itself would probably be demoralizing, even though you're old too. I'm not sure. Maybe some old people can comment. I really don't know. I'm a young guy, so don't know what that means. This guy says, I hit the wall in high school at 15. I'm now 38. I think with the technology we now have, men hit the wall a lot earlier because they can become aware of social change faster. That's brutal. Boss man, hit the wall at 15? I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I don't think that's possible. Unless maybe you have some, like, you know, you get into a car crash at 15 or something like that. Or you like lose an arm at 15 or something like that. That's crazy. Yeah, I think with the BP getting more mainstream, I feel like guys are going to be more aware of lookism overall, which will hopefully kind of get them to quote unquote self-improve and you know, just get better with their looks. But I mean, that in of itself increases competition for everyone as well. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, on one hand, these guys have more opportunity to put in that work, bro, and like looks max. But on the other hand, the more men that looks max, the more difficult it is if you don't looks max. Or it's going to be more difficult even if you do looks max, because if everyone in the room is a Giga Chad, then you're just normal. So if you're not one, then it's over. Bossman says, I believe all social media platforms have been invented to depopulate the planet. The other methods they use and continue to use didn't work fast enough. Then they make what's bad even worse. Yeah, I mean, that's true as far as the other methods didn't work as fast as social media. Social media really took the world by storm, you know, using that monkey brain, that social proof aspect of our biology against us in a way. And now they're kind of doing a lot of social engineering to, like, you know, for example, like, you see on TikTok all the girls and all the guys wearing the exact same articles of clothing by the exact same brands, right? Like, that in and of itself is telling that there's some real social engineering going on social media, because they're doing it because other people on social media are doing it. And you better believe they're doing a whole bunch of other things because they're seeing it on social media. So people say that, you know, online isn't the real world, online dating isn't the real world, social media isn't the real world. Yeah, I mean, they're right. It's not the real world. It is the only world at this point. There's a few exceptions, like maybe if you're like the Hadza tribe or something in Africa, or like you live in some, what's that religious group? I can't think of it, but in America, there's that religious group. They make like wooden furniture. They're like a Christian denomination of sort. They don't use technology, whatever it's called. Yeah, I mean, sure, if you're in that group, okay. But other than that, if you live like a normal civilian life, then yeah, it's all online. Everything's online. Work is online. Work from home. School is online. Zoom school. Getting jobs, apply online. Dating is online. Social media communication, even with your IRL friends, is online. Using Facebook, using Instagram, using even iMessage or whatever. That's still technically like messaging people online or using like telecommunication devices. So it's not really that different than social media. Bossman says, my big brother did 23 years in prison and he's out now. He makes less than $10,000 a year. And I have seen him tell women to stop calling him and find a boyfriend, yet they still keep contacting him. It is just looks and looks only that matter. Wow. So his brother, assuming the story is true, did 23 years in prison. And if he did 23 years in prison, then he probably wasn't 17 or younger, right? He was probably at least 18. So do the math. That's like 40, 43. So he's coming out of prison at 40, 43, 45. And he's getting girls, wow, at 40. You know what? Hey, maybe the red pill copers, maybe Rich Coper and his tactical soap does have something going on. Maybe men really do age like fine wine. If he's getting girls to endlessly call him on his phone at 40 plus, that's actually impressive. But it could be like a Thug Max factor. Obviously, there's more context. Let me heart that. That's crazy if true. Yeah. Are you a work from home 6-figure stem cell? I'm going to avoid the personal stuff for now. Just ignore them when they ask you a question. You don't owe them an explanation. They will get the picture. Yeah, when I told my coworker, my client, that I didn't have any friends, he caught me off guard. That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I remember there was one commenter that said, tell the world everything. You know, they can't hold any... They can't like stop you from, like the world doesn't. I don't know what he said, but we might see the comment actually. And this guy's saying just keep it in, and they'll get the picture. I don't know. It is what it is. What is this button? Publicly subscribe to you 2 weeks allows everyone to see their subscriptions. Okay, that's pretty sick. Never seen that before. Okay. D here says, basically all my coworkers know that I have no friends and no life. All that gets me is that they ask me constantly how my state of mind is, lol. Yeah, if they're asking you how your state of mind is, you know that it's over. But they ignore me otherwise. They go out with other colleagues, and I never get asked if I want to come with them, etc. Yeah, they don't want to hang out with you. Brutal. Damn. I mean, that's pretty sick, though, that, like, you have coworkers that you, like, hang out with or at least talk to IRL. Working from home is a whole different can of worms. It's very isolating. Work in and of itself is a very social thing, or at least it can be. Kazi, maybe I can just call you Kazi. Demonic animal NPCs, just ignore and ghost them. They just want to delight in your perceived pain. Genuinely smile more and ignore them and watch how they get angry. Find anything to generate a genuine smile, a good past memory, etc. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you have a point, like, making people smile. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a good idea. I don't personally do it. I'm a cynical guy. But if you have it in you to make people smile, then, man, that's a powerful tool. I definitely need to work on that myself, though, if I'm being completely honest. Okay, so Daniel over here says, as a 40-year-old guy, I can only agree. I have no education at all, so I have to take the lowest of the low jobs. It's insane. So he's 40, and he has to take the lowest of the low jobs because he has no education. And then he continues on, I wish I would be able to get a good job. I think that I could cope a lot easier when I would have a job I like and when I wouldn't have to struggle with money all the time. And this was on my, work cell video. Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, I really hope that things improve for you financially and job wise, man. I absolutely agree that you will be able to cope better in a better financial situation. Now, it's kind of a double-edged sword because once you pass that threshold of getting everything made, all your bills are good to go. Once you pass that threshold, you realize that there's nothing on the other side. There is no other motivating factor, right? So I want you to get there. I want you to improve, get a better career path. But what I noticed in my life is that when I was broke, I was actually happier than I am now, and I'm not broke now. And a part of it has to do with when I was broke, I had something to shoot for. I had a real powerful, tangible goal, even though I was mostly still alone, and even though I didn't really do well with girls. When I was broke, and of course the jobs I was doing were kind of just more like customer service related, right? So like I just had more human interaction overall as well. But the main thing is that I was always like, I gotta make rent, I gotta get my money up, I'm not making enough, I'm barely getting by. And the good thing about that is that that's like a really powerful motivator, and it just kept me going, and it helped me stay positive in a weird twisted way because I was hopeful that my world would improve in the future. Now that I'm there though, there's literally nothing else. I have nothing. There is no hope that things are going to improve from here because I have everything that I could ever want. There's nothing really that more money at this point in my life can buy me. Like, oh, what color is your Bugatti? Like, yeah, I get it. I can buy a Bugatti and, all the sparkling water, and all that stuff. Get a penthouse in Romania, bro. Um, I can do that. But as far as actual, like, living conditions, as far as not being stressed out, as far as not having to, worry about bills, stuff like that, that's all good. So it's just a different life now, and it's not really, I could basically kind of just scrape by, just hang out, just do the work, just do the job. Pretty easy job, pretty simple, not difficult, just continue on, do, like a mindless NPC zombie, and I'll have all my bills paid, nothing to worry about. I can even go to Top Golf on the weekends. I can go to the restaurant here, and that's my life, But the issue is that there's no real struggle in that, and I think that men need struggle in life. I think that we need a really strong motivator. We need, as men, you know, what's the word? We need like responsibility. I truly believe that for sure. Um, and once you pass that threshold, man, it's kind of just like I don't know, man. It's just a weird feeling because there's no point. There's no like real tangible benefit to like working harder at this point. There's no like real tangible benefit to like doing more hours, to making more money, because the difference between 40K and 70K is I can literally pay my rent now, and I can also, you know, eat something other than ramen noodles. That's a massive life-changing difference. And then maybe also I can buy a car when you go from 40 to 70K, right? But going from like 70K to 100K, the only difference is when you check your phone bank app, the number is a little bit higher. That's the only tangible difference. You just look at the numbers like, oh, okay, it's up a little bit more than it was last month. That's the only difference in life. So it's really nothing, basically, is what it comes down to. It's, oh, what, luxury, watch can I buy? Oh, what nice restaurant can I go to? But the thing about that stuff is none of that stuff is even interesting. If you're doing it alone, it's all gray, it's all dull, it's all blasé. It's not interesting. It's not cool. Do it one time and then it's there's nothing. Without people, it's truly over, to be honest. Without the social aspect, it's truly over. The money is literally nothing. It's just a number on your like bank website at that point, on your mobile app. That's all it is. Um, and it's totally brutal coming to that realization because I thought, all these red pill cobras, bro. Yeah, bro, you gotta get 6-pack, 6 figures, 6-inch Peter. You gotta get 6 foot tall by doing leg lengthening surgery, bro. You gotta get 600 horsepower car and a six digit house bill or whatever mortgage. You know. But the thing about the money part is that like, um, getting the money, it doesn't really get you the girls, if I'm being completely honest, for multiple reasons. One of the main reasons is that, I mean, there's plenty of guys that make that amount of money. It's not impressive, to be quite frank. And then on top of that, they can make that money too. So they don't need your money anyway, at least in the West. And they know 20 other gigachads that make that, or, comparable amount. So it's not impressive. So it's basically nil, irrelevant. If you don't have that money, though, I mean, your quality of life is going to be pretty bad. I think maybe when you break multiple 6 figures or 7 figures, then maybe at that point, the money aspect maybe starts to come into play with women. I'm not there yet though, so I really can't say. But that's what like people like Andrew Tate, Top G. That's what they kind of say is like, oh, if you don't have a Bugatti, no wonder why you're bottom tier. And it's like I don't know, man. I mean, I think the money maxes cope, but from a personal quality of life standpoint, definitely get your money up. I mean, there's definitely plenty of opportunity out there, man. At least, in the West. I don't know about some of the other countries, but in the West, there's plenty of opportunity. So, and I don't have to tell you that. There's plenty of YouTube videos on that, to be quite honest. So, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Now, okay, let's move on. I was blab-maxing over there. It's definitely, work selling is one of my biggest copes, so it's definitely something that I like to talk about. Kevin over here says, this is very true. Yep. Having low body fat percentage is very important, but it's hard because we have too much fast food around us. So true, King. So true. Yeah, I just don't eat fast food anymore. I'm lean maxing, bro. It's difficult. Not gonna lie. It is not easy at all. Kevin says, to get down to 10% body fat, you're gonna have to be laser focused on diet. Absolutely true. I'm getting close. I'm getting fairly close. So I might update whenever I get down there. This guy, Mr. Mall, says this channel is getting squashed by YouTube hard. It's not. It's not. I was just busy, so I was busy work selling, so I didn't have time to post. And so I'm trying to be consistent now. So hopefully that stays. But I haven't gotten anything deleted or anything, or I haven't gotten any strikes or anything like that. Ken says, what is a hard rejection? What's the difference between that and a normal one? Well, I would just say, like, when I told this story, the hard rejection was just, I can't remember the story. Maybe just go watch the video. But I think the hard rejection is, like, her just being rude, instead of just, unmatching or something, which is more of like a normal rejection or just like ghosting. She says some really mean thing back, and I think that's what I meant by a hard rejection. No, you finish college at 19. I don't know. Western aging issue. Okay, not enough context for those comments. Blue here says, no joke. I laughed so hard when you said, all you'll get is 2 minutes of conversation for a month per year. You legit need to become a pickup master / conversationalist with those 2 minutes. You analyze the shit out of it. Yeah, Yeah, that's true. I think he's talking about like when you have a job and you have a rotation of customers and you have to, talk to all of them. You start analyzing like every word that you use to talk to every single customer to try to optimize it to get the best result from Becky Light or whatever. Whenever you get a chance to talk to her, it's true. Aaron says, I haven't had a genuine connection with someone in many years. My social skills definitely took a hit, so I would have trouble telling if someone was genuinely interested in me. Can definitely relate to what you're going through. Yeah, I agree, man. You know, I think that I'm pretty much permanently broken, permanently scarred. Me personally, I went through parents' divorce and I moved around a lot. And yeah, I mean, it just completely ruins your social circle and your experience as a child. And it just makes you not trust people. It makes you, you know, definitely get taken advantage of by people throughout the years. And I could probably tell some more stories about this another time, but, just people backstabbing me because, I'm newer. I didn't grow up with them. So they're just going to trust other people more. And yeah, it's just brutal. Michael says making 50 to 100K annually will attract a lot of parasite moochers and thieves into your lives. Be careful. I personally have not experienced that, but maybe that's true. He also said, don't worry about the Chads. I've seen Chads hit the wall. Father Time took their muscle and hair away. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Father Time takes everyone's looks away. But we need to try to capitalize it before Father Time takes it away from us, I would say. Or at least that's what I'm trying to do. Jay says, from 0 matches to getting 2 bot matches, question mark. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, at that time I was mostly just matching with fat girls. I need to come out with a new video talking about my update on online dating. Um, Tate deserves it though. No, he doesn't. Okay, so we have some difference of opinion. Um, I like Top G. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Kazi says, I listened to the whole video and it's beyond me how you are not somewhat smart and either good looking or able to get your looks up. Interesting. But yeah, I relate to this a bit too much, but you are mistaken if it's easier for Chads in life. Most people just hate to hate and sadism for weird sick joy. I'm chronically online too and reading, writing in my head, thinking, playing video games that stimulate me, interesting videos. Appreciate the comment, man. There's definitely still things that I can do to make my looks better. Like one being, I'm still lean maxing. There's potentially some other things, but I don't know if I'm willing to do the whole surgery route personally. Yeah. Um, and yeah, I mean, I get that. Chad's lives are difficult too, it's just like, oh, Stacy Light is just using me as a meat stick, bro. Like, I just want true love, bro. Oh, and Becky Light also is using me as a meat stick. Can I just get Giga Stacy? Why doesn't Giga Stacy want me as bad as Stacy Light? Oh, I need a new Stacy. I'm getting bored of this one. That's pretty tough, I would say. Then Kazi says, any suggestions to get my money up? Question mark. Even though I don't have to do stuff right now, having no money basically sucks. Yeah, I mean, I definitely do have suggestions to get your money up. This channel isn't like about, um, money maxing, red pill, self-improvement, bro stuff. But I'm not opposed to making content related to that because I am just a work cell basically. So it is kind of up my alley, to be quite honest. But yeah, I mean, long story short, kind of just like what I said to the previous comment, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube, and there's a lot of opportunity, at least in the Western countries. I don't know where you're from, but basically, I would just say pick something, look around at the options that you have, figure out, depending on your situation, what a good option might be. Pick something and stick with it, and assume that when you pick that thing, assume that you picked the wrong choice. Assume that out of the different career paths, you picked the incorrect one and go down that path anyway and stick to it anyway, and assuming that it's the wrong one. And eventually, over a long enough time period, it might become a great career path for you. That's what happened to me. And if it's not, then that's fine because you already assumed that it wasn't going to work out. And if that's the case, after X number of months, then just go to the other one that seems a little bit, more in line with you and just do it over again. And it's not a waste of time. The reason for that is because you checked that option off of the list. If you have the ability to narrow the list down of options, then that is a useful thing to do with your time. Because as humans, there's too many As humans, there's too many options. So if you can do anything to lower the amount of options you have for a career path and dial in, that is not a waste of time, even if what you choose doesn't work out. Because then you can pivot, pick something else, try that out, and see if that works. And let's say that doesn't work as well. Now you're on to test run number 3. But the good thing is that if the list has 10 options, now you only have 8 left. And so that if you spend 4 months doing each one and you fail them all except for the last one, that's going to be about 3.5 years of testing things out. And then eventually you have a great career path for the rest of your life. So the only other option that I see is just not taking any action. And so I would rather have a great career path on that long-term time horizon than not having a good one at all, being like the previous commenter at 40 doing dead-end jobs for the rest of his life. So that's what I would say. And it's all on YouTube, man. YouTube University, man. You don't need Hamza University or Andrew Tate, Top G University. Top G. Only Top Gs learn from YouTube.com. It's free and there's courses for hours on end. 24-hour courses. Okay. Kazi says, I was going to try to maybe go to a bar later and just see what happens. I don't drink alcohol though, so maybe gonna ask for other stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I go to bars and I go alone and I just sit there with a blank stare. I just sit there with that fluoride stare, bro. Just sit there with that fluoride stare, like the period_period face. Looking at nothing for like an hour or two, get a drink or two, get a burger or something, and then I leave. And that's my bar experience. So maybe y'all have a better bar experience, but it's like, this isn't even enjoyable. Like, I'm paying for this? I'm paying for this experience. Like, really? Like, I'm paying to be here, sit here with that fluoride stare, do nothing, be bored, look at all the people in relationships, and feel like an idiot. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth the money on that one, Chief, Anyway, so Kazi says, I have no friends either. I consider myself human, singular, not plural. Most people are actually demonic animal NPCs in human bodies that are programmed with low IQ hatred and sadism. That's hilarious, dude. Oh, man. Kazi says, man, your audio and what you said in your channel is giving me life fuel right now. I want to exercise and listen to you. Hey, brother, I really appreciate that. I definitely exercise and listen to other BP YouTubers, not gonna lie. So it's pretty epic and pretty base that this content is able to be that for you. That's actually mind blowing. I really appreciate that, man. Wow. Kazi says, maybe we could try to be friends, but I'm apprehensive of calling anyone friend, and I'm not disingenuous and utilitarian slash mercantilism, like 99%. Yeah. I mean, I think friends are kind of just utilitarian, so I don't really believe in friends, honestly. Black pilled on friends. The unwarranted mercantilism disgusts me, but that is inherent in the world on some level, plus programmed with the 99%. You think they hate you because they do, but you are probably the same, no offense. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really like most of my coworkers, honestly. I don't know, man. When you aren't working, what do you do to pass the time or for fun? I just work out. Normies are evil and weird. I don't know. Maybe. I'm definitely weird too, though. As a man, we are hated. It's tough and we gotta accept it. If you are a good looking man, you get fake attention, fake affection, though, from some women. Maybe. I really can't say. You have to detach because the 99% are demonic, anyways. Even Chad is hated, dude, but at least we can get fake affection from some foids. I'm a 5'8 to 5'10 Chad Preet that is mostly monkeying. I'm quitting fapping soon to be more pure in my monkeying. Maybe I'll stop monkeying later. Well, this was posted 2 weeks ago, so let me know how the monk mode is going, bro. I find that stuff pretty difficult. And I don't really get much personally out of doing that stuff, but hey, I mean, if it works for you, that's cool. I could try to be friends if you want, but the thing is, I'm very apprehensive because 99% ain't worth the hassle. They will be disingenuous and secretly hateful, which is why I'm apprehensive. Yeah, I don't really believe in friends. At least money is not an issue, but that doesn't really help the pain you are going through. Yeah, it's not money. It's the social aspect. I don't have friends, family. I'm the black sheep of the family at this point, and then I have no love interest. So, he's trying to get his money up. Okay, let me scroll up. Man, if I was making your money, I would be able to flip a portion of it with high risk methods that are very high reward, which I could do easily and then figure things out. Like, yeah, like Zoomer Trader. You're going to be trading stocks and then go get a Mexican prostitute or something, right? You sound incredibly young, no offense. If things were that easy, you would already be doing it, brother. That's funny that you say that because I'm heading on doing it now, but generally you are correct. Well, good luck and wish for success. What actually are you doing? Is it investing? In a sense, yes. Okay, yeah, good luck with your investments. I lost like 15K in stocks. I lost and 15K in crypto. So screw that. I don't care about that crap. I don't care about money anyway, so it's irrelevant. I don't care about making a ton of money. It doesn't really matter to me. So I don't really care about doing investments. So I'm not wasting my time on that garbage. But if you like it, that's fine. Yeah, that's how these demonic animal NPCs are. It's so weird. Yeah. I isolate as much as possible for a reason. Okay. Would you ever escort Max? Question mark. I think the real thing you want is a mental connection, right? Question mark. You won't find that with the demonic animal NPCs, 99%. Would I ever escort Max? I mean, I want to say no. It's kind of like a Hail Mary. It's kind of like a last resort, right? I feel like if you escort Max, then it's truly, completely, brutally over. And it's like, I feel like I still have some semblance, some sliver of hope potentially left before I want to just completely throw it all into that. I feel like once you do that, it's kind of a permanent choice in your life. Like I just can't really think, I can't really like, and I don't know. I mean, look, if you do it, that's fine, whatever. But, I'm just thinking like, if I escort Max and having to like tell a potential future girlfriend or wife that I did that, it would be very, I mean, she might dump me on the spot for telling her, but I mean, look, all I'm saying is that it's a total last ditch effort, Hail Mary. Once I fully give up, then I might start considering that. But at the same time, escort maxing doesn't actually solve the problem that I have a problem with. I don't really care about the act itself. I care about the intimate social connection, which that would be more like a GFE, I guess, which I hear that's very expensive, like $1,500 or something. But yeah, that I would like that way more than just like Escort Max, you know. But yeah, it's just brutal. Oh, are you for Chad Only Theory says, are you forgetting that you can surgery max with money? Um, and then Ape Slayer says, to be honest, this money equals hard looks maxing. I'm not forgetting that you can hard looks max, but hard looks maxing, it's kind of like escort maxing. It's like a total last ditch effort, total hail Mary. I mean, there's a lot of risk associated with it from multiple different angles. If you're going out of the country, leaving the country can be risky. The surgery in and of itself can be risky and have side effects or failed surgery. Or it could not actually improve your situation really in any tangible way. And then on top of that, it's not really, how do you say, it's not really like a, look, I'm just going to be straight up. It's kind of just like, body is temple. I don't really have any tattoos. I don't really plan on getting surgery. But, anyway. If I end up going down that route, it would be after I've totally lean maxed 100%. And I'm not there just yet, but I'm fairly close. But I think that when I truly, truly have a shredded six pack, I think that I might be able to ascend. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for. Hard looks maxing, I would really rather not have to do that. I'm okay with getting low tier Becky without having to do any hard looks maxing. Then I'd rather do that than hard looks max and get like a Becky or a high tier Becky. I'd rather just get like a low tier Becky and not have to hard looks max, if that makes sense. Our agent says, I don't negotiate with therapists. He said, I don't negotiate with terrorists. I don't negotiate with therapists. Exactly. Yeah. And then Kazi comments, haha, only thing that can make it better is the RS. Yeah, I said that in another video. Exactly. User says, just be a Chad, bro. True. Just be Chad theory confirmed. Exactly. NWF says, I don't see no one caring. I got 3 real friends. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that one, man. The Stockfather says, so many people are obnoxiously patriotic. I'm a tiny bit Native American, and these people scare me. I think patriotism is based, so cope. But the issue is that I can't celebrate it with anyone because, yeah, I'm a social outcast. But I think it would be pretty awesome to be able to celebrate my country with people that I love. I think that's pretty sick. But I really would just be celebrating it with, Mr. Jack Daniels, that is. So, then he says, all these people celebrating freedom when they're not free to do anything but go back to work tomorrow. True. Lamau, I feel like I'm in a weird parallel universe. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely true. I mean, 100% true. We're really, truly not free. We do have to go back to work tomorrow. I don't know, man. I mean, I think most of these things, these holidays and, the way that people dress and all that stuff, I think mostly it's just performative and it's just like social related stuff. I don't think it's really that much other than tradition aspect. I think it's just like an excuse to have a social gathering. And, I used to not value that nearly as much, but now I realize that that's literally the only thing in life is social gatherings. It's the only important thing, because everything else is irrelevant. And if you don't have the social gatherings, you really have nothing. So, and then he says, I went to the local pool party today, and the girl is like, "How many?" "Just one, Lamau." "I had so much fun, though." Oh, brutal. Brutal. The girl said, "How many?" He said, "Just me, babe." Just me, the local Inky, the town Inky, coming to the pool party. Brutal. Oof. Well, glad you had fun. Um, Thanks for the input on that. I think I improved my audio. John says, "I've stopped going to family events a decade ago. Never missed them. It always felt worse when I still went, having the same stupid conversations over and over and over again." I mean, sad but true. This is relatable. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of BS, especially when, your family doesn't really treat you like a human being, right? Um, yeah, it's just brutal, man. It's just brutal. Ours agent says, "My opinion on God is that the Gnostics were right about him being the demiurge, an evil creator." I don't know what that means. Doomer Rising says, "Loneliness, isolation became the norm for most men." Brutal. Brutal. So true. So true. It's over. Truly is. That's crazy. Loneliness and isolation became the norm for most men. I wonder about for most women. Is loneliness and isolation the norm for most women, like it is for most men? I'm genuinely curious. Nope says, "Hey man, I had your video pop up. I went through a rough, lonely time during C19. Broke up with my GF, isolated, at home, virtually alone, and did not particularly like my job. Recently went through a conversation to faith. I believe in God now. I'm not too popular with women, but I've managed to start talking to 2 women, joined a men's group, and made some friends. And I have a much better job. Point is, keep your head up. Consider exploring your faith and try joining some groups. Just try to make one good friend and go from there. God bless you, man." Hey, God bless you, Nope. I really appreciate that. I have been having some very difficult, trying times lately with the church, and I will make a video about that later. Alrighty. Anthony says, "Dudes, just saw this video in my feed. I recently went through a breakup and felt the need to comment. I'm a 55-year-old man and have been around. Trust me. You must find a way to embrace the beautiful peace and quiet. I don't call it loneliness because I love myself first before anyone else." This is starting to sound like MGTOW, bro. And enjoy doing things by myself. I was by myself on the 4th. I loved it. I put on the Yacht Rock, grilled up some ribeye, a couple lobster tails, and had a few beers. I went out after dark, set a chair in my driveway, and watched my neighbors shoot off fireworks. Seriously, it's okay to be alone if you will. What makes it even better was hearing from my married friends being dragged around by their wives doing everything they didn't want to do. When they asked me what I did, they all said, "Man, you're lucky." Believe me, men, it could be a lot worse. And if you went to the fireworks show and spoke to nobody, who cares? You're better off. Next time you go to an event or even the grocery store, watch all the emasculated men follow their wives around. It's pretty pathetic. Love your beautiful self and learn to enjoy your own company. Hope this helps. Take care, everyone. I do appreciate your comment. You're coming off a little bit MGTOWy, but I do appreciate it. And yeah, it's true. A lot of guys are emasculated, but the way I see it is, it's either at this point, it's either be emasculated and do everything she says, or be an inkwell. Like, there really ain't much of another option, man. And it's kind of brutal being an inkwell. Yeah, women are a big headache to deal with, I'm sure, after decades of marriage. But is that worse than being, a divorcee? I think dealing with her might be better. I'm not sure though. Jim said, "True." Okay. Rick says, "I've come to believe that One can only become true friends with an individual under two conditions. One, you have extremely similar personalities slash interests, or two, you have the same level of social status slash life struggles. Yeah. If these conditions are not met, never attempt to become friends with a normie. Yeah, man. Actually, that's so true. And I agree 1,000% with this. And you know what? I don't really try to become friends with people as much anymore. Um, Especially on the social status, life struggles related thing. Like, I believe in social caste, not class, to be honest, even in America. And so, like, if someone's from a different caste, there's no point in trying to become friends with them, to be honest. And I don't know. There's actually one guy that I might become friends with. So we'll see with that. But I mean, he's basically, you can see it in his eyes. You know what I mean? That he's like an inky, basically. You can just tell. Um, 3, he says, you grew up together, became friends in your formative years. Yeah, that's very true as well. If you grew up together, then that is a bond you definitely, well, you can break it, but that's a very strong bond. Kazi says, personality matters, but not to the 99%. They are weird demons. Yeah. Ironically, the 99% don't have a personality too. Yeah, Chad has a great personality. Stacy has two great personalities right in front of her, right? Divergent Bro says, listening to you talk is like listening to my own thoughts. So much truth. There may not be much depth to conversation or friendship in real life, but at least the internet allows us to exchange ideas like this. Oh man, thank you, brother. It's crazy. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. The amount of kind of positive and relatable comments that I'm getting, it's actually mind blowing. I didn't expect to receive this. When I first started this channel, I did not expect to see this many, comments saying I feel this exact way. It's actually, on one hand, it's cool. Whoops. And then on the other hand, it's a bit worrying that the whole world is like this. But the worst part is, like you're saying, it seems like IRL, this isn't really a conversation and it's only online. So it kind of begs the question, why is that? Why is this conversation only happening online? Why is this conversation not happening in the real world? And I'm sure soon enough it will be happening in the real world. And you know what? I might have to do social experiments and just be that tard that goes to the bar and talks about being an inky and see what happens, just to see what happens. I might have to do that, but I don't know. It might be a dumb move. Be like, yeah, bro, I get 0 girls and I have no friends, and here I am. Can I get a drink, please, Mr. Bartender? I might have to do that one. I don't know. We'll see, man. This guy posted a lot. Whew, okay. Wow. This is a long video. I guess, hey, if you're liking the video, I guess keep the comments coming. And I'll do another one of these later on, I guess. So Daniel says, I guess it depends on how good you look and how good you can communicate IRL. Like you said, the strategy works really well. Not really talking about your own passions. But the thing is, people will hold that against you after a while. They will say that you have no personality. This is true, actually. If you hold your stuff in, people will tell you that, or they tell me that I'm closed off. And so that's off-putting to people. So being too, out and about your stuff is off-putting, and not being enough is off-putting. You're only allowed to speak about your passions if you are good looking. True. Or if the other person really is interested in the same thing. Absolutely true. If they don't care, they don't want to hear it. So true. And, to a certain extent, me as well. Like, if they're talking about something really boring. And he continues on. I used to think the same thing about friendship, and now I've changed my mind. I don't know if you're familiar with the Japanese concept of face. Face means that you don't say what you really mean. You say what the situation demands. So you will never speak about politics and controversial stuff ever. You will go with the flow, basically agree with everything the majority says and does. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I have a job, so that's what I do at work. I don't talk about politics, right? I'm just, shaking my head and moving forward. Yeah, of course. I've come to the realization that you can't really talk to anyone about how you really feel. Close yourself and only talk about unimportant stuff and never show what you really feel or think. Nobody cares what you think. That's just the truth. Not even friends. People on the internet will sometimes understand you. People on the internet, anonymous people, are the only people where you can talk about what you really think. Nobody in real life will ever care about such stuff. I am one of these hermit style guys. I pretty much stopped talking to anyone about what I really like and think. I've been backstabbed so many times that I will never open up to another person ever. You know what, man? I completely relate to this. I mean, I feel like I've been backstabbed so many times throughout my years, through formative years, over the course of every time that I moved to like new schools, backstabbed by people that I thought were my friends that turned out to not be because they backstabbed me, people that just constantly have lied to me, people that take what I say, use it against me, people that, you know, take what I've done, use it against me. This is a great comment. Um, I really appreciate this comment. Um, although I do think it would be an interesting experiment to see what happens if you overshare and just see what happens. Okay. TBH, at this point, I am 40 now, soon to be 41. I don't care anymore. I have tried everything and failed. I'm completely alone, no friends, no GF, nothing. Bro, but have you tried Rich Coper's tactical soap or his tactical rope? I don't know. At this point, I'm not even sure if I would be able to form a connection to a girl anymore, since it all seems like so much work. Yeah, I've actually heard that before. Having a girlfriend is like very difficult to navigate, very difficult, especially if you don't have the experience, having to keep up with her demands and her expectations. It's too much work for me to talk to women. I don't have the energy for that anymore. All that constant worrying about her, and in the end, it won't happen anyway. So true. Like, yeah, worrying about texting her back and forth, and then eventually she just ghosts you anyway. Every time. So it's pointless. And then he continues on. I'm tired of relationships with women. TBH, I'm even tired of relationships with humans in general. I agree. I want to live my life alone without having to deal with other people. Sometimes I see a pretty woman and imagine how it would be to have a relationship with her, but I always come to the conclusion that I don't have the energy for that, since it's too much work to maintain a relationship. Yeah, I agree. It is a lot of work to maintain a relationship. Um, I don't know. I still kind of want one. I'm a young guy, man. I still kind of want one. Fake Arab says, I would say 26 years old is when men hit the wall. I do not talk about looks, but the mental scar that loneliness does after being single and a kissless virgin all his life. Regarding looks, I would say about 40 years. Oh, I see. So he's saying you hit the mental wall at 26 if you're KHHV. And he's saying you hit the physical attractive wall at about 40. Deadman W says, you're wrong. Some of us have been isolated for 20 plus years. And then this guy replies, an elite. Yeah. Brutal. Fritz says, what friends? Question mark. And then another guy, Cap responds, you wouldn't get it. Death stare. I don't know. Trend friend says, nobody in the West has friends after you reach a certain age. Brutal. Social circles disintegrate over time. People get too occupied with their own lives. It's so true, I would say there's a few things that bring people together, maybe like sporting activities, maybe like churches, maybe like general family, bring people together, maybe like holidays, family. I don't know what else. Maybe some sort of like meetups or something potentially. Yeah, it's over. Luck Cabin says, are you money maxed manlet like me? No. Only truth. Face recently live streamed, question mark. No, I just watch his reruns. Or I just watch the old videos that are like 5 years old, 4 years old, and I just rewatch them over and over again. Because, look, how can I cope? How can I cope without doing that, okay? Only Truth says, I feel like this is taboo knowledge. Sometimes because of how much people talk about personality. But we look in the mirror day after day at a reflection we had no control over. Brutal. Yeah, looks are, unfortunately, the most important thing. If you look decrepit, you're going to be treated like crap. If you look like a Giga Chad, you're going to be treated amazing. Doesn't matter what your personality is, unfortunately. And that's just life. And then he says again, dopamine max, bro. Yeah, I was going through a rough patch, man, not gonna lie. Trying to dopamine max, trying to do that. And then they responded, keep using methamphetamine so the dopamine level will never go down. Yeah, bro, just drug max, bro. Just meth max, bro. Just lose all your teeth, bro. Yeah, that's what Andrew Tate taught me. Just take methamphetamine, bro, like the Nazi soldiers, bro, and you will fight stronger. You have to become better than your competition. Yeah, literally. Blonde Bimbo B says, less popular BP channels are the way to go. I'm against all these fakes and grifters who sold their soul like soy waffles. Yeah, I don't know. I actually like wee waffles, not gonna lie. Brandon says, it definitely would, man. What are you on, Lamau? To the video, making money won't change your situation. Yeah, I mean, if you're poor, if you're a brokey, then yeah, making money will change your situation. Kazi says, do you have a Discord? Not currently, but maybe in the future. Blonde Bimbo B says, anyone who gets into the position of power gets corrupted, and you really see the psychos of humans like what they really are. Brutal. Kazi says, it's easy for me to compete with the whole world, but I am truly unique. Okay. On this video, he said, on the video I posted, it says, you're not emotionally fit for a relationship. This guy comments, emotional damage. That's hilarious. Svo says, dude, it's not that complicated. A person's mood or sewer thoughts, which is, bleep ooside thoughts, is determined by their self-confidence. Fact check. Someone call Snopes on that one. So if you're in a relationship, it means you've worked on yourself enough to be confident. What? Yo, the Red Pill Cobra has joined the chat. If you're smart, therefore you won't have sewer thoughts, won't be depressed as much since your partner will help regulate your serotonin as well, and things will be fine. Hopefully that happens to me. Yo, deadass. For real, bro. Bro. Svo is literally not reading the room right now, bro. Like, what? Like, what do you mean it's determined by self-confidence? What are you saying? Oh, man. Fell Trees says, people don't want to hear this, but it's true. You can't be socially isolated for long periods of time and be able to do well around women, sadly. Yeah, that's brutal, man. That's brutal. Maybe. I think if you maintain a customer-facing job where you talk to a lot of people through your job, then you can still be somewhat isolated, but maintain that social skill through your job. And I think that can enable you to be able to talk to girls. A3 says, it's very difficult. I'm autistic, and somehow I've been able to do okay the last few days. It's very challenging. It is so rare for me to talk to a woman for multiple hours that it feels like I'm walking the streets of a foreign city. As a guy who suffers from social anxiety, I can only second that. I would like to have a GF, but deep in my heart, I know it's impossible anyway. I wouldn't even have the emotional energy to interact with my GF over long periods of time, since my social battery pretty much runs out after 5 hours of social interaction or so. That's why I gave up for good. Imagine me, a 40-year-old virgin, would finally have a relationship with a woman, only to find out that he is the problem, lol. That I couldn't function in a relationship because I'm a born loner. Absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. It's really over. It never began. Brutal. Rita says, I'm just trying not to be dead. She quotes what I said in here. Or he or whatever. I'm just trying not to be dead. I feel that way too, man. And then someone said, I enjoyed your latest video. I guess maybe they make videos. Yeah, I'll have to check them out, I guess. Let me look. I opened up, opened up a, whatchamacallit, tab. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. You know, just trying to keep things going, man. Original says, your impersonations are fun, man. Good video, bro. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Yeah. Chances are they don't have friends either. Simple gaslighting. True. Andrew says, your reality is quite literally what you think. Change what you think. Change your reality. Actually, reality may vary greatly from what you think. Okay. Yeah, I guess there's some truth to that, like law of attraction. I know what you mean. Brother Hagfish says, this resonates with me a lot. In college, I had some serious struggles that I wanted to talk about, but felt like there wasn't an available, socially accepted context for quote-unquote airing things out, like you described. Somehow, I got opportunities to do it by the grace of God. I doubt all so-called churches or Christian communities would allow the opportunity, but pretty much the only opportunities I had have been in that sort of context, with people from church or campus ministry. Okay, well, hey, W Church for that. At least, you know, it's giving you that outlet. My personal experience was not as good. I felt like an outcast being there, to be honest, when I went. So I'm going to try again, but it's just brutal. Svo says, I think you're right. If you can't connect with people that share the same language, culture, history, it would be harder in a foreign country. The people that do make friends in foreign countries make friends anywhere they go. It's not the country that makes the difference. Yeah, you know, I think that's a really good point. That's a really good insight. Hopefully I get to try this out for myself and see what happens, man. I don't know. Blonde says, none of it's fair. You can be a woman and have all sorts of emotional trauma and still get relationships, despite not being quote-unquote fit for relationships. But men can't have any emotional trauma in order to be fit for relationships. How gynocentric and unfair. Yeah. So true. Y'all are really hitting it with these comments. Okay. So yeah, that's all the comments that I have for now. I don't think I have any held for review. But that is that. Yeah, and I mean, I'll see how this video does, and then maybe I'll do this again in the future. But yeah, another Saturday night in your prime on YouTube.